Hey guys, Laura here with STP. Are you planning on taking the May test and you have no idea how to get started? That's totally normal to not know how to study for an upcoming SAT. So in this video, I'm going to help you guys figure that out. I will explain the who, what, where, when, why, and how for how you should start preparing for that May test so that you can feel super ready by the time you go in there. Before we get started, make sure you hit the subscribe button and notification bell below. I come out with useful videos every single week to help you surpass your goal on the SAT test. Also, for a limited time, we are now offering our math workbook free of charge if you subscribe to our email list. So make sure you click that link up here, head to our website and subscribe, and we will send you a promo so you can get that for free. All right, the first thing I want to talk about with you is the who. So when you're gearing up to study for an SAT, it's good to grab someone that is supportive and will help motivate you. So whether that's a parent or a tutor or a study buddy, you're gonna wanna pair up with someone that can hold you accountable and keep you on track to hit your goals. So a study buddy is really useful because not only do they make the process more fun if you're studying together, but they're also someone that you can relate to because they're going through the process with you, so they can offer you emotional support. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is the where. So where you study for the May SAT is important. Obviously, you want to pick a location that is free from distractions. So if your room is not a good place for you to study and you know it, don't try to study there. But make sure it's quiet, and also make sure you put your phone on Do Not Disturb. I cannot stress enough, you guys, you need to stay off of social media. So what I would recommend is committing to 1 hour of uninterrupted focused studying. After that hour is up, you're gonna wanna take like a 10 to 15 minute break to reset. So go for a walk, talk to your friends, go grab a snack, do something so that you can reset and start again. Because if you try to study for too long, you're gonna poop out. I mean, that's just the way that it is. So you're gonna wanna give yourself some breaks in between, especially for extended study sessions. All right, let's talk about the when. So you are going to want to commit to some SAT study days. So what I would say is sit down with your study buddy or your mom or dad or your tutor, and come up with a study plan as far as how many days a week you want to study and how long you're going to study for, and commit to them. So put them in your calendar, in your phone, with an alert that will remind you that it's time to study, and promise yourself that you're going to stick to that plan. What I would recommend is committing to at least 2 SAT study days a week. So if you're going to pick, let's say, Tuesday and Thursday as your SAT study days, then I would say for each of those days, devote 2 to 3 hours of prepping. If you're gonna commit to more than 2 days, maybe you're doing 3 days a week, then you can scale back the time. Maybe you could do an hour and a half each day. But you definitely want to spend as much time as you possibly can studying for the test and prioritizing it, even if you have other schoolwork going on. Because like, honestly guys, this test is kind of important. I know that you don't get an immediate grade on this test like you would say, like if you have a history test coming up tomorrow, but you need to put it in perspective for a second. If you have a history test coming up tomorrow, that's one test in 1 quarter, which is 1 marking period of 1 year out of 4 years of high school of 5 classes. How much is that really gonna impact your GPA? Versus you have an SAT, which is 1 test score that admissions officers see and pair with your GPA. So it's basically considered almost on the same level as your entire GPA. If you put it in perspective like that, that's gonna help you make sure to prioritize this test and really commit to those days that you committed to for the SAT. Okay, now let's talk about the why. Why are you even studying for this May SAT anyways? This is super important that you drill down on why you're doing this to keep you motivated when times get tough, because you might be so excited to stick to your SAT plan and then the 3rd day in, you're gonna wanna go hang out with your friends instead. So what are some reasons that you want to get a good SAT score? You know, for the students that I've worked with, typically they fall into these three categories. They want to offset a lower GPA to help strengthen their application. They want to be a more competitive candidate for very selective schools. Think like top 30 schools, Princeton, Harvard, Yale, Georgetown, etc. And or they want to get more scholarship money. So if you have a high enough SAT score, you can get automatic merit aid, you can get full rides, you can get extra scholarships, you can apply for different scholarships. So definitely that is super motivating to know that you can actually remove some of that financial burden from your family and from yourself if you do well on the SAT. But at the end of the day, you want to think about your why and hold on to that while you're prepping. Let's face it, sometimes it's going to be hard to find the motivation to want to study when there's other more fun things that you can do. That being said, please comment below, because what is your reason for wanting to do well on the SAT? Okay, now let's talk about how you're going to prep. Okay, so you need to take a previous score report if you've already taken the SAT or the PSAT. Make sure it's a digital score report, not a paper SAT score report, and look for your weaknesses. Once you've found your weaknesses, then what you're going to do is target those areas by practicing those specific types of questions. After you've targeted those weaknesses for an entire week, then you can take another full test practice and repeat the process. Maybe when you take the next full test, you'll notice new weaknesses that are emerging or other things you need to work on. So you're gonna wash, rinse, repeat. And this brings me to another important point, which is the what. What are you gonna use to prep? So I would recommend you work out of official College Board questions. When you are targeting your weak areas, I would recommend you go to the College Board question bank. You could just Google it and then filter to the specific types of questions you need more practice in. Definitely, once you're done practicing the questions, read through the answer explanations and try to figure out where you went wrong if you got any wrong. You want to learn how to think like College Board and start to adapt your thought process so that you can pick the answer that College Board says is right. After you do your targeted practice at the end of the week, you should be taking full tests out of the Blue Book Exams app. That's College Board's app. Those are official SAT practice tests. Rumor has it they will release 2 more tests this year. We just don't know when. Right now, there are only 4 tests available, so make sure you don't burn through all 4 tests right away. Do some targeted practice, then take a full test at the end of the week. Do some more targeted practice, then take another full test at the end of the week. All right, if this video has been helpful for you so far, show me some love, hit the like button below. All right, so what if you're implementing this plan, you've done all the things I've talked about, you got a study buddy, you're using official materials, you picked SAT study days, but you're still struggling. This can totally happen where you keep getting the same types of questions wrong and you're reading the answer explanations and they don't really make sense and you're like at a loss. If this happens to you, then that's a sign you might need a little bit more support. So what I would recommend is you sign up for our self-paced SAT courses. You get exclusive video lessons that really walk you through how to do each type of question with simple explanations that are way easier to understand than a lot of the ones in College Board. So this is also useful if you're running out of time. If you find that you're taking a full test and you're super tight on time or you keep running out, it just means you need more strategies and tools. And this course that we have for both the English and the math will give you all that you need in order to improve and get to the next level. So what I'm going to do is I'll link up here to our courses. If you purchase both courses right now, we have a bundle promotion where you get $100 off. So go check that out. All right, guys, that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching my May SAT study guide. I hope you understand now the who, what, where, when, why, and how you need in order to succeed on this test. And until next time, guys, happy prepping.